If Reddit existed in 1922, what sort of questions would be asked on here? Will my wife's bicycle make her a lesbian? Probably wouldn't have used such a shocking word. Say something about a Boston marriage. Probably. I might be off on the time frame when people actually thought this, too, but had to say it. Married couples who don't have more than 8 children. Why? Wife, 17F, doesn't want to have any more kids with me, 42 meters, after our 4th child died of influenza. This would be a great Ida, 1922 edition. Duh. Everyone knows a woman's value is measured first by her devotion to Christ, and second by her disposition to submit to His will of being put on earth to birth abundant offspring. If she refuses to birth any more children to you, how can you even be sure she's a devout Christian? If her uterus is barren of life, it will breed sickness and misfortune instead. Ask your local priest to strongly admonish her and guide her into the right path again. This. Better yet, I highly recommend striking her. It shall once again assert your dominance. If she remains unwilling, cast her to the streets and obtain another woman. Better yet, I highly recommend striking her. Be sure to do so in areas that are not to be seen by the general populace, as having a bruised female might be seen as a lessened masculinity. Asking for a friend, if one wanted to find a speakeasy, where would that be? Pulls out bottle right here, pal. Man, I wish my Elliot Ness version of the Navy SEAL copypasta I wrote wouldn't always get removed. It would be perfect here. Maybe it's all the cussing. My kids don't go outside anymore, they just stay in and listen to the new radio. What's a mother to do? 200 milligrams of cocaine, administered every 20 minutes, should just about do the trick. If they still wouldn't leave the house, it would be time to visit the doctor so you could get that prescription of heroin, for you or them. That should make them less annoying. Serious people who recovered from the Spanish flu, what was it like? Or stocks would be popping off. Hot stock tips guaranteed to make you rich within the next decade. I don't see stocks going down anytime before 1936, see? Wall Street Bets 1929 memes would be interesting. Diamond hands. Concrete pavement. Is 11 years old too late to start working the coal mines? I fear I'm being too lenient on my 6 boys. I'm afraid that you have raised a bunch of Nancy boys, Squire. They should be working their fingers to the bone from ages 4 and upwards. All is not lost though. Start them in the mines now, offer their services as canaries. Who would care if a homosexual should perish? And administer brutal daily beatings to the remaining living children that should take away those nasty habits. Of course, you could always just abandon them at an orphanage and force your wife to sire another child and treat him correctly from the start. How stupid would humans have to be to start a second world war? Very. Herausforderung angenommen. Halten Sie mein Bier, bitte. Unpopular opinion. The new generation is forgetting how to make cheese cause it is in stores. In the future, fewer people will know how to make cheese. People are too lazy to even slice their own bread anymore. Where is the decency? To be fair though, sliced bread was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Sliced bread was the greatest thing since Betty White. Does sticking heroin up my butt cure polio? Absolutely. Thanks, we'll do hourly now. If Reddit existed in 1822, what sort of questions would be asked on here? Which brands of shoe shine and hair pomade work best? I don't want fop. I'm a dapper Dan man. Watch your language, feller, this here's a place of public accommodation. Well, ain't this place a geographical oddity? 2 weeks from anywhere. My favorite line, I use the term geographical oddity at least once a month. My ex-girlfriend's mother had a terrible sense of direction. She could get lost in a walk-in closet. I called her geographically bewildered. My son talked about his feelings. How do I let him know he's a Nancy boy? I reckon 5 to 6 lashes with a sturdy leather strap should dissuade him of that nonsense. Nip that in the bud, I say. Edited because I am uncultured. Oh shucks, he said it was too pleasant. What must I do now? Try using jumper cables. Gentlemen coming back from the war, do you also hear bombs again too sometimes? Or is it just me? You must never have been close to one. Artillery shell landed in the foxhole next to me, and I haven't heard anything but ringing since. Why did they build the Titanic that way? Icebergs can't pierce steel hulls. Wake up, sheeple. Indeed, it's fake news spreading by telegram. Some things just never change. More of the same sexually frustrated questions we get now. What's the lowest effort thing I can do to make those flappers want to do the 23 ski-doo with me? Boppers these days always chasing the Floyds and Clydes and never a nice guy like me. I'm aware I'm a decade early. Giga Clyde. People who are for the legalization of alcohol, why? Then the comments filled with people from the rest of the world talking about how alcohol already is legal. The someone links Rustifaultism and it descends into anarchy. Ida? My family says I'm selfish for quitting my job at the coal mine so I can focus on my third grade studies. Get back to work, you ungrateful brat. Sloth is a deadly sin. Kids these days have it too easy. They want to breathe and do math? Math doesn't put cigarettes on the table. Will I be the if I tell Susan to stop coming to the church because she's a town's WH0 Info, did she sleep with your husband? She sleeps not only with everyone's husband but also allegedly seduced the town mayor's son. Put a sock over everybody's dicks, that way when she tries to sleep around, all she gets is a sock. Duh. Flappers of Reddit, what does it mean that it ain't got that swing? It don't mean a thing, tbh. Pardon me, but do wop? It do. Can anyone here translate jive or know where I can purchase a dictionary? My daughter has been cavorting with some suspect characters, and I want to tell them off in their native tongue. It's okay, stewardess, I speak jive. Chump don't want no help, chump don't get no help. Jive ass dude don't got no brains anyhow. Schfived. What is homosexuality and how can we cure it? I voted even though I know my husband is uncomfortable with me voting, Ida? Does anyone else notice how women have too many rights these days? I'm afraid to hit my own wife now. How many cigarettes should I be smoking a day to not want to hit my kids? Guys, I failed to get an art school. Shall I look for a career in politics? An Austrian guy probably. What age should I teach my kid to smoke? Young as they get. My wee lad smoked as a small baby. Boys, eh? Was the Titanic sinking an inside job? Yes. Remember when Titanic's sister ship Olympic crashed into that warship? The insurance wouldn't pay out, so they hid the real Titanic, painted Olympic to look like Titanic, and then deliberately crashed it into those icebergs in order to get that sweet, sweet insurance money. You don't have to make things up, this is a real conspiracy theory, and it doesn't quite add up. Sirs of Reddit, how did you get your title? Things like what's your take on sterilizing people with criminal skull shapes? Run popular opinion, everyone worried about lobotomies are virtue signaling and need to worry about themselves. NSFW, yesterday I hugged a girl, will she get pregnant? In 4th grade a girl who had a crush on me came up and hugged me and she legitimately thought she was pregnant from that. She started telling everyone that I got her pregnant, lol. Fairest madams of AskReddit, what is the sexiest sex you've ever sexed? My mother told me to just close my eyes and think of France in the springtime. Works like a charm.